From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They begin the drive with Williams. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. Well, these two teams, they met up in Denver earlier this season with the Broncos winning that one. So if they can win again here in KC, they would pull off the season sweep. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. It's Joshua Williams with a pick. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions, can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelce. He has career touchdown number 78, tying him with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And the Chiefs use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now a 7-0 game. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
Hardman on the return. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. Room here to run. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
The Chiefs at 4-8 now on the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on.
And it'll be intercepted. Mahomes picked by his ex-teammate Marcus Peters. And the Broncos are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. After the interception, here's Wilson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10.
25.
Here's Wilson. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down. Up the middle is Williams. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Wilson. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 30 yards. They go back to the ground with Williams. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Wilson. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Throwing again here, Wilson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. The extra point up and good. And we are tied at 7.
That ties the game at 7.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Take it in at the 3. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
On the return, the Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown, so 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Whenever you see a quarterback break contain, just think to yourself, the receivers on that side of the field, Their number one job, make sure they get in his sight line so he can try and find someone downfield. Guys on the backside, make sure you don't give up the deep ball. They tried it there. They weren't able to connect.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. These two teams all tied after one. Second and 12. Now Wilson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 43 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Mahomes going to throw. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Mahomes looking deep downfield. And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. And he will step out of bounds, but not before he's all the way across the 50. A huge play there for Denver. 43 yards on the ground. So that run there, yeah, I don't know if it's overstating things to call it a thing of beauty, but in terms of football plays, that's as good as you're going to see. Got a man open. It's Sutton. He's got room at the 30, and he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It's another first down as this time they get an even 20.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure. And it's a loss of 6. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Now on 2nd and 16, Wilson to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play, but sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one, weren't able to do so.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
And this one is right through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Trying to lay one up deep. This is caught inside the 15. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way, oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got it?
And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelce with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from moving out in front in the final minute of the half. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that will give them the lead here as we get on towards halftime. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. A slim deficit here in a 1-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3, and take some momentum into the locker room. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson, this will be caught. Judy. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Meanwhile, Wilson's throw here into the hands of the receiver, Judy. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. To throw again is Wilson. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. And they have regained the lead. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Yellow.
Final shot before the half from Mahomes. A quick throw out to Hardman on the perimeter. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin getting set for quarter number 3 here. It'll be the Chiefs football to begin quarter number 3, and they trail here as we are back underway now on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mahomes. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. It's a gain of 34. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. Now it's Mahomes again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Touchdown! Travis Kelce. His third touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Chiefs have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead is up to 5. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Again, it's Williams. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 64 yards on the ground for him so far.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. It got his man complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And he's got Hardman in the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. From 17 yards out, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point by Butker is on target, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
That was an example of excellent defense there. They stuffed him. So now he brings up a third down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast. I'm not running the ball here.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 49-yard line. Gesicki hauling in the quick throw. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Tempo.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Wilson. Looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs are going to get it back here just past the 35. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Locates Hardman for another catch. He's got room at the 30. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Last play, they went over 20 yards. This time, they topped 30. So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Now here's Mahomes. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Forced out to his left. And he's got Hardman in the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great effort there. With touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Chiefs look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that will make this a 19-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. Pressure comes and Wilson's going to go down. Frank Clark, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Yellow.
So a fourth quarter pick six here, and that one might put this game out of reach, CD.
I certainly agree with that, partner, and I know one thing, though. That team that just got the pick six, they're going to keep playing until this one's over. Better be careful. They're looking to get another one.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Back to the air, Wilson after the pick six. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. Frank Clark getting him once again, his third sack of the afternoon. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Wilson. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a fourth pick of the ball game.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That incompletion brings us one snap closer to the end of this one, maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. They'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. On play action, it's Mahomes rolling to his left. Catch is made by Hardman. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Mecole Hardman, 48 yards. And the Chiefs start to open this lead even wider here in the fourth. Extra point by Butker is on target. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Wilson's throw complete there to Thomas. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Down at the 25. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. And the Chiefs are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
It's a gain of 23 yards. And a Kansas City
Easy.
first down.
Mahomes going to throw it here. Another pass into the reliable hands of Kelsey. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. But they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
And that they have in every...
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to...
Breaks the tackle, he's got room to run. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of